Mississippi. And that's
Yes.
surprising. A black woman in Madison, Mississippi, holding a protest. I was kind of shocked. I was like, "Oh, she ain't gonna come to Jackson." I thought everybody just all the black folks come to Jackson and just do it.
What happened was, okay, so our very first protest was in Jackson. So May 31st,
Wow.
we had very first peaceful protest. It was at the governor's mansion, and then we walked to the police department. And the next day, Tate Reeves got on live or wherever he gets, and he was like, "We respect how the protest went. We respect that everything was done in peace." Now we are currently in the process of planning our event in Madison. It's not going to be a protest. It's actually going to be a night of prayer, repentance, and worship,
Oh,
centered around racial reconciliation. So I don't have the dates for everything. We're still waiting to get approved. So y'all can be praying for us. We have been in contact with the mayor of Madison as well as Tate Reeves, and we're just hoping that they approve us for this event.
that's amazing. So, what you got to say to people who think people who put on protests are just crazy? They don't got no sense. They just want to break stuff. Like, I guess people don't know it takes a lot into getting this stuff together, getting a protest together. And so, please, man, just explain to these people and let them know so they can just stop talking outside their neck.
Yeah. So okay, so I'm a Christian. So of course I'm gonna come from my Christian standpoint. So they don't want to realize because it's very obvious, but Jesus protested. Protesting means you fight against something that's unjust or you fight against something that's not fair. Jesus did that literally all the time. He advocated for the people that were being oppressed. He advocated for the poor. He advocated for people that other folks were trying to shame. Like those were the exact people that he spoke up for. That's what protesting means. We're just speaking up for a group of people that are being oppressed. And so if people think that protesting is evil and unjust, then they don't read the Bible. And it's just facts. And another thing that I have to say towards that is whoever is putting on the protest, the motive should always be pure. The motive should always to bring us together, not to divide us or cause any division or hate. And so when we put on our first protest, like we planned our protest in 30 minutes. We put the flyer out for the protest at 7:00 before the night before, and then the next day, like 150 people show up. And it's not because of who we were. It's simply because this is something that God wants for his people to do. Like this is the church coming together to advocate. So I like the people I've been talking to since the protest, I always let them know your motive behind why you want to have a protest is going to show how successful your protest will be. Like if you want to do hate, have riots, do looting and all that type of stuff, it won't be successful and it won't be respected. So
Right. So with the riot and the looting, how you feel about that?
This is how I feel about it. So I understand the feeling that comes from. They're angry. We all angry.
Right.
People are upset. They are frustrated. They are tired. We tired. Take away the R. That's how black people feel. So that's the emotion that they feel. And sometimes when people feel angry, they not trying to be peaceful. They not trying
not at all.
to have no or trying to come together. They trying to make noise. Like they trying to show you that they are tired. I do not agree with rioting or looting because I feel like that takes from other people that may not even have done anything. But I do agree with the emotion that's still behind it.
Right. And that's what, man, so many Christians be like, man, these folks going to hell who out here rioting, who out here just protesting all this. But I'm like, man, do y'all not know they was about to kill John and they said don't kill him unless the folks will riot? They gonna riot if y'all kill John because they said John is a prophet. And so people tired of black people getting killed unarmed, by the way, like unarmed. You got Skittles, drinks, you walking. I mean, you already handcuffed. What else? I mean, what more do you want somebody to do? Just continue to just get beaten and beaten and beaten and just take it? Nah, that's not gonna happen.
And so to me, like when people say things like, we don't understand Black Lives Movement, we don't understand why you want to do all these rallies and protests and stuff like that, that shows me that you want us to stay silent in our oppression because you feel like you have the upper hand. I don't do well with that, and plenty other black people don't do well with that because the question is, you're only the majority by number, but you're not superior. They have a lot of people that are not of color have the superior mindset, which makes them feel like they can do what they want to do, they can say what they want to say, and if you question it, then you're out of line. And
Right.
that's not how America or the forefounders or any of our laws state. However, that's how they judge. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. That is how they judge. They look at themselves, hey, we got the most people, we the most superior race. And it's just really crazy. And we still dealing with this in 2020. And even just what happened this past Saturday with the other young man that got shot. I mean, people still getting, like, this what I want to, like, people still getting beat at protests. Like, what do we do about this?
That's honestly a good question. So the first thing that I say is, like, it's so important for us to get our government officials involved. Like, how can you say that you're for the people when you're not fighting for the people, right? So that's why we went to the governor's mansion. Tate Reeves, we need you to make some noise. We need to know your motives and your heart. Like, attack your governors, not attack, but make them make noise. Go to your mayors, go to your governors, learn their heart behind this. Get them to speak up, because you're not just the mayor and the governor of the majority race, right?
Right.
Your states don't just hold majority races. So you have to take a stand for everyone in your state. If they don't, if our laws are not changed, ain't nothing gonna change.
That's true.
We could talk all day long, but if the laws don't change, we're not gonna see nothing.
Right. And the reason, to me, I think the laws might not never change because everybody who's claimed to be a believer think that believers shouldn't do law, they shouldn't do entertainment, they shouldn't do nothing. They think everything is just worldly. Like, you shouldn't be a part of that, just be a part of the church. And to me, that's just a bad idea. And I think this happened in the 1920s, the fundamentalist movement. And they said, you know what, we can't answer Charles Darwin, so just, if you in school, teach, all of that, just leave all this stuff for the people in the world. And so now we got lawyers. Yeah, go ahead.
It's not even biblical though.
Right.
Because why in Isaiah would they say that we will obey Jesus' government if the government doesn't exist for us to obey? So why would Jesus tell us to respect our authorities if our authorities are authorities of the law? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so many times we try to pick and choose what we want to obey in the Bible, and there's still disobedience to God.
Right.
Like, it literally says in Joshua, obey all of these commands. Don't stray. Like, look at every single command and stay to course with those commands. Like, you can't pick and choose what you want to obey.
Right. And sometimes we know that this thing is right, but sometimes think people just don't know how to respond to it. Like,
yeah,
we know what we seen is unjust. Sometimes people just don't know how to respond.
Yeah. One thing I feel like is important though is if you are a Christ follower, your whole life is supposed to be a life of action. Nothing about you should be passive, because Jesus wasn't passive. And if he's who we're trying to be like, then we have to act accordingly. Whether that doesn't mean that you have to get on social media and just write all these statuses and stuff, but talk to a friend, pray for somebody, pray over somebody, go anoint somebody, do something, but don't just sit there and just twiddle your thumbs and talk to God about it. I can't remember who it was in the Bible. I think maybe it was Moses. I'm not sure. But they kept praying to God, and God was like, why you keep coming to me and praying? Go do what I told you to do.
Yeah.
Like, be obedient.
Yeah, just be obedient and listen and move. So how can we get people to move? That's like, we need to get people to start moving.
So, like, the only way to get people to move is for us to move ourselves. Like, the only way that people will want to do something is if they see somebody else doing it.
Okay,
like
can I steal that quote you just said?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna steal that quote. Okay, sorry to cut you off.
Well, you're fine. But, like, when I was leading and organizing that protest, so many people showed up because people were just looking for an opportunity. That's all people need. People just need somebody to say yes, and that's it. So when you say yes, when I say yes, that empowers somebody else to say yes, and then you get more people involved. Another thing that's going to get people to act is conviction. Like, when the Holy Spirit convicts,
yes,
it's not comfortable to say no. So conviction and then us also acting ourselves is
Right.
what it's gonna take.
That's true. We got to move ourselves, man, because we got the gospel. I mean, we got the truth. We got the answer to these things. Because I can't think of no other religion in the world that treats like humans all the same. Like Muslims, I mean, if you're not doing this and doing that, you second class. Women, second class. Atheism,
Right.
Charles Darwin said the superior race should survive. Like all these other religions, Hinduism, all of these religions don't have the answer. We got the answer, but we got to move with these answers, man, for real.
Exactly. Like, what's that song? Keys to the streets or whatever. We literally got the keys. We just choosing not to open the door and do nothing.
Right. Hey, I got to steal that quote too. So I thank you. If you want to just keep on giving me quotes to steal, I would do it. I don't got no problem with doing that at all.
That is fine with me.
But we've been protesting for so long, though. So many years.
Yeah.
It seemed like
Yeah.
no change coming. Do you feel any change? I don't know. I feel like I feel a change, but I feel like I don't feel a change because I'm still see cops shooting people at protests and
Yeah.
why they're not at
I feel
protests.
exactly. Yeah, I feel exactly how you feel. I feel like this is what kind of bothers me about it. There's always waves of momentum, but it's never consistent. That's the issue. So, okay, we see Ahmaud Arbery, we see Breonna Taylor, we see George Floyd. We all rally up. We got that momentum. We ready to fight. But then we get tired because we feel like ain't nobody doing nothing, so we stop. That's not how justice works. You remember that story in the Bible where this woman kept going to the judge every single day, asking him for the same thing?
Yeah, demanding justice.
Yeah, and the only reason he gave it to her was because she was so consistent, not because he wanted to, but because she was annoying with it.
Right.
That's how you make noise. Like, even the Bible says, keep asking and you will receive. Keep knocking and the door will be answered. Keep seeking and you will find. Like, we're not consistent.
Yeah.
We go in and then we stop. Then we go in again and then we stop.
Yeah. What about the people who be trying to crush down that they be like, okay, we've been battling for 400 years, so what are we gonna do now?
Okay, those were our ancestors battling for 400 years. What are we doing?
Right.
Like, what are we doing? Black people have been oppressed, yeah, and our ancestors, they stood up and they fought. But what are we doing?
Right.
They didn't just do that for us. Like, they didn't just do that for that moment. They passed the baton on to us to continue. And I told my parents this, like, my parents were born in the 70s. Their generation was real quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, their generation,
Yeah.
I didn't see a whole lot of advocating, a whole lot of protesting or nothing. So it's falling on our generation now. And the millennials, we don't play. We're not here for the myths. We're not here for the slander. We are very here for the culture. So that's why we see so much of us fighting and standing up, because we don't let people play games with us. But we can't let people play games with us consistently.
Right. And that's why I feel like sometimes I feel like we gotta protest I think we should show a protest like armed. I feel like that's the right way to protest to get respect. Cause I look at these other people who went to go to the Capitol. They had AK-47s on their shoulder. The police didn't do nothing. They respected them. So you know what? I guess we got to start carrying our weapons at these protests. But then I feel like if we carry weapons, it might be worse for us. Who knows?
Oh, definitely. So, are you saying that you would see with like how the Black Panthers handle themselves?
Oh yes, I would definitely like us to handle ourselves like the Black Panthers did. I love it. We need to. I guess we got to be more like Huey Newton or something. I don't know at this point because it's out of control.
It's a whole lot of trial and error, to be honest. So we still learning. I feel like.
Yeah, we still learning, but I do feel like it's a change though, because like even at your protest, it's a lot of whites. Even at all the other protests across the globe, Berlin, London. I mean, it's a lot of whites. This is my first time ever seeing this.
Because somebody made it very clear. They was like, we in the middle of a pandemic on TV. You don't have no choice but to sit on social media and watch the news. When George Floyd died and how he died, there was no way for anybody to say that there wasn't a hate crime. You could literally see the police officer adjusting his knee to make it even worse and harder for him to breathe. You get what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
People were outraged by how someone could hate someone that much to do it. And it was obviously because of race. And if somebody didn't feel, like I said, conviction causes people to move. So many people are moving because they feel convicted to move. Yes. You will feel guilty if you just sat there and tried to deny what happened in that video. So
Right, that's true. I mean, even knee on your neck, that's like a MMA hold. I think MMA rounds like what 3 minutes, 3 minutes long. Literally, like he was 9 minutes. I don't know how many rounds. Like I'm like three
nine
rounds.
minutes, 9 minutes, you handcuffed. You're literally on the ground. So at our protest, we got on the ground, the hot ground on the road, face to face with the street. That was the most uncomfortable, painful, unrealistic. It was terrible. It was completely uncomfortable. So he's on the street. He can't breathe. He's using his last breath to advocate for his life.
Right, and I always say this. It's like a movie. It's like something you see on Netflix or something. Like you be like, "Wow, he finna die." This movie crazy.
It was unbelievable.
And that's what, oh my goodness. And that's what we seeing. Have y'all been seeing any like fruit, any big benefits from doing this protest? Cause you just said y'all was up on the ground, face on the ground, laid out. Like, have y'all seen any benefits yet? I know it's kind of early, but have y'all been seeing any type of benefits?
I honestly have seen a lot of benefits. I've seen so many young people be like charged up to act. Like, and I met so many people. Like, when I tell you, I literally had about 50 people to reach out to me that week, and literally majority of everyone that reached out to me was white. And they were saying, please let me know when the next event will be. Please let me know if I can help donate anything to you guys. Like, there literally is a change. And let's state this. I have not heard any reports of any type of hate crimes or looting or rioting in Mississippi.
Yeah.
So whether we see anything in America, Mississippi is doing good.
Yeah, we doing good here in Mississippi. Maybe because we so small. Hey, I think that might be the reason. I think we was a big city like Atlanta, we probably saw some looting. But I guess we so small. I guess no, everybody knows about Mississippi. I think we the second most racist state in the world. I put Alabama at number one. That's just my opinion. Now this is okay. So with the police going crazy, oh my goodness. Like you said, it seemed like the police not listening. And, the Black Lives Matter organization, they talking about defunding police. So what you think about defunding police? I'm not sure about defunding police. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with defunding police. What I do feel like needs to happen is the police department needs to give the citizens of the state more opportunity in decision making when it comes to who they choose or how they choose, or more so how they train. Now, I know that this may not make a whole lot of sense, but I feel like we, the people, need to see what y'all do in y'all's training, because we need to know the policies that y'all are teaching. Because ain't no way in heck that it's okay or that y'all are training for people to kill.
Right.
That doesn't make sense. And my thing, I was thinking the other day, like, what's the hierarchy of the weapons that y'all use? Like, why isn't it going from least amount to kill somebody to the most thing that could kill somebody? It's like they go straight for the guns.
Right.
Where's the tape? Where's the, like, baton things? Like, what are the measurements here?
Right. I feel like they know, but I feel like sometimes they just act up on impulse, or they just act on hate. Sometimes I feel like they act on hate, too.
It's true, but in my opinion, why are you a police officer?
Right.
You should be trained to know that you're going to experience things like this. Like, I feel like that should be part of the training.
Right.
Like, is there a questionnaire for you guys to answer? Like, are you racist?
Right.
Do you have any hate towards any type of groups of people?
You have a racist background. Right.
Right. Like, come on. Like, let's see. Why it seems like anybody can be a police officer at this point.
I feel like I might be a police officer tomorrow if I really wanted to. I think they'll take me in.
I almost said something. That whole spirit work.
That's how it is for police, man. You could just get hired, but they need to reform the police. They need to change the training and everything. How they hire people. They need to do. Sometimes I feel like, do y'all do background checks? Cause this kind of crazy.
And what's the repercussion?
Right.
Because
get into that.
Because I cannot remember the officer's name that killed George Floyd, but there have been many he had been reported many times for using too much force and all that type of stuff, or even using hate towards other groups, why he still working and why y'all still letting him go out and arrest people? Why? And then with that Rodney King.
Right, Rodney King.
It took heck long for anything to happen to them officers, and now some of them are like sergeants in command.
Right. That's
Like,
the hypocrisy we see all the time.
exactly. And then I don't know if you watched that what's that man? Dave Chappelle. You know, he
Yeah.
talked.
Oh yeah, I haven't saw it yet. I plan on watching. I need to watch it. So
You got to watch it. It was so powerful. But he spoke on this black man because he was a police officer, and he reported that his partner was using too much force. Right? They went completely against him, and he ended up getting fired for trying to do something right. And so what he ended up doing was going and killing all of those police officers, and then he ended up killing himself.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so much. But what even led to him feeling like he had to act that way was that he stood up for justice and he tried to do something right. But because he was a black man, it was like, no, you're not going to come against us and try to stir up stuff.
Right. Your word don't count. What is your word? Really? You just here. Right. You just here.
Boy, you black.
Right.
Exactly.
You a shield, basically.
Exactly.
Are you a shield to just go out there? Maybe you might get shot. Hey, who cares? And that's how it is sometimes, though, which is outrageous. Outrageous. They got to find a different way to punish these police, like you said. Like,
exactly.
People need severe punishment. They're just like, with man. I hate to bring this up. Like Emmett Till, when he got killed, like murdered horribly. You learned this in like, I think I learned this in middle school. I want to say, I like, what? Whoa. I was shocked. I was shocked. And the woman, she came out and said that she lied, that he didn't do nothing, and she never went to prison, never.
What happened to her?
And nothing at all. But you see Bill Cosby. I'm not saying what Bill Cosby did was right. I don't know what he did, but Bill Cosby got sent to prison ASAP, real quick. They didn't care how old he was. But you see, this woman, she got a man. They butchered him basically, and she gets to just walk.
Exactly. And you want to know another thing? People losing their jobs not enough. Anybody can lose their job.
Right.
Like, stop. Like, put these people in jail. Like, they act like losing a job is like the worst thing that could happen to somebody. People can get another job. But once you send somebody to jail for doing something that was wrong, that stays on their record. You get what I'm saying?
Right. And they gonna
let them know how it feels to be black in America. Let them know how it feels to be locked up and have to try to build your life after you get out of jail. How about this?
And this I feel like all this started with the Trayvon Martin incident, even though I know it's been going on for hundreds of years, even before Trayvon Martin. But when Trayvon Martin, I remember that I was in high school. And Trayvon, I remember watching, man, my whole family, we were watching in the living room, waiting on the verdict. So, everybody thinking that he finna be guilty. And like, we sitting there like, it's like a party. Like, we waiting for him. We waiting to get justice, everybody. Like, and then they said not guilty. And then after that, it just started to spiral out of control. Cops said, you know what? He got off. I might get off too,
Right. It was Trayvon Martin and then Mike Brown is when everybody was like, you know what? This is America.
Right.